Okay, dokie, last one. I ripped it. How did I manage that? Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today we are setting up another planner in my 2026 lineup, and it is going to be my pet journal slash garden journal. So in previous years, I like to keep a journal of all of the happenings on in my garden and with my pets. And this past year in 2025, I didn't actually use my journal because I got married and all of my attention went to planning a wedding and doing all that stuff. So my hope for is 2026 is going to be the year that I get to revamp my garden and honestly keep better track of my animals because we have quite a few. I'm going to be going over supplies as I go through the planner. If you've never seen one of my setup videos before, I'm basically going to be showing you the entire process of setting up a blank book to the final product at the end, and there will be timestamps in the description. Yeah, there's also no music in these videos because I like to listen to the crinkly paper sounds. So if you want to have music, you'll have to kind of play that in the background on your own. Anyways, let's just get started. I am already not loving the cover of this, so I do have a plan for a clear cover to go on top just because it like shows my fingerprints when my hands are really warm, and I don't love that. I also don't love how shellac it feels, but I love the design, and that is what I went for with this. So let's just go ahead and open it up and start working on the inner cover here. I really want to use these tapes that I got from the washi tape shop. They have little dogs all over them, and considering I'm making this more of a pet journal, I figured we need to have a bunch of little puppies and dog faces in the front of this book. Like, look at the corgi butt. Like, we have to have that. So I'm going to do similarly to what I did with my journey planner, and I'm just going to place them down randomly, I think, or maybe I'll line them up. I don't know exactly how I want to do this yet, so I'm just going to start sticking stuff down and it's going to come together. I'm trusting the process and we're going to go with it. But ultimately, I just want to stick them down side by side. Like it's a bunch of little dogs just like greeting me on the page here. Like we have a Yorkie school bus. Like they're just so cute. And yeah, I think it'll be fine. And with the Hobonichi background, I think it'll layer nicely. Like it'll look really how do I put it, like blended into the page because it's gonna have the little bit of see-through in the background. But yeah, I'm just gonna put these dogs side by side for now. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop there. I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm just going to trim off the little pieces of the dogs that are overlapping down here at the bottom. I kind of didn't know what to do once I got to the bottom. I just started placing stuff down and hoping for the best. I don't love it, but I think I'm going to work with it because I'm going to add in a little bit more stickers. Like I'm going to add in some stars and some filler in between all the dogs to make it look a little bit more put together versus just like a bunch of random stickers on the page. But I just figured it's so cute. Like it's just a bunch of dogs. I don't know. I'm just trying to have fun with this tape because I really love it because it's full of dogs and I love dogs. I also love cats. I'm just an animal person in general, but we have 4 and 4 at our house. So I guess that makes me an equal pet lover for dogs and cats. But yeah, I'm going to grab some stars. And I wanted to use the silver ones because it matches the kind of like silver foiling on the front. But I also have these tiny little cat stickers that are gold. So I'm hoping by mixing the two foiling together, it's not going to look terrible. But I mean, I may not even use the stars. I'd rather use the cats if I'm being honest. So let's just start popping down some cats in these more negative spaces here. And by negative spaces, I just mean blank spots on the page. And I'm going to try to be sporadic so they're not all like clustered together. And we're just going to put them down. Naturally, I want to put some like off the edge of the page, but I don't think that's going to work very well, at least with this concept. So I'm just going to do my best to keep everything on the page and work with that. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot else I'm going to do here. I'm just adding in some of these more... Oh, I didn't do a pink on that side. Crap. Okay, let me take this one off. Move pink over here. I'm just going to add a few more of these cat stickers. I think that's good enough. It's kind of busy, but I think I'm fine with it. Oops. And I'm going to go ahead and add 1 star and see how I like it. And if I don't like it, I'll try to peel it off. I don't really like it. It's too much. I think I'm just going to add some page freckles and we're going to go from there. And for the page freckles, I'm just going to use a Sharpie, and all I'm doing is just adding random dots again into like the negative space just to help fill it in a little bit more without making it look too much, I hope. It's just funny to me, like every time I look at a different dog, like they're doing something else. They're so random. I don't know why, but I really like it. It's just cute. Really random and cute. Alright, I feel like that's good enough. It's very hodgepodge together, but I am okay with that. I'm going to go ahead and move on. I'm basically going to do this exact same thing on the back here, so I will do this part off camera, but it'll look pretty much the same as this. It's yeah. Anyways, then let's move into the inner cover here. So I got these really cool leaf stickers. And I don't know how to use them on anything. And I'm thinking I'm just going to make a collage of dried leaves on this page over here. I don't know how this is going to go, but I just want to kind of see. I mean, if I had actual dried leaves, this would be really cool and crinkly, but they're just the stickers. But it is the time of year that there's lots of dried leaves outside. So if you feel like you want to be creative and go get some dried leaves out of your yard or your neighbor's yard or the park or whatever, maybe go see if you can find some really fun dry leaves to work with. I feel like I want to do ones that have cool texture. I don't think I'm going to be able to fit all of them on here, but I do want to try like the weird ones, the ones that have the more weird shapes. I think I'm going to stick this one off the edge maybe. Ooh, will it fit like that? I just don't want any of them touching. I have no idea what I'm doing, by the way. I'm just kind of winging it right now. Ooh, okay. I think I am satisfied with that. And then I just have these 2 extra ones, or 3 extra ones, I guess, over here. And I will save these for another project. I need another clip. The Hobonichi Weeks does lay flat. It's just right now it does not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start sticking these down and hope that it comes together the way I want in my head. Well, that leaf is touching. Oh well. These stickers are kind of challenging to get the backing off. Like the sticker is thick, but the backing is also kind of thick. So they're a bit challenging. They're from Sticky Club. I don't know if I mentioned that, but they are Sticky Club stickers. And I love the concept. I really do. Because I would totally... I think I got a comment on this actually one year where they suggested I take like leaves or things out of the backyard or whatever I found on my walks or my hikes and like start sticking it into my garden journal because I wasn't gardening at that time. And I loved the concept. And now it's kind of coming to life. It's just with a sticker version versus real leaves. But you know what? Maybe I'll go grab a leaf just for giggles and stick it in here. Although a dried leaf may crumble. Like depending on how dry it is, you know. A pressed leaf might survive. But even then, if you're super rough on it, maybe not. These are just the ravings of my mind while I'm sticking down leaf stickers. I know it's super random. It's fine. Okay, they are all stuck down. Look at that. I think I am going to add some stars to this though, because why not? It'll make it a little bit more fun. And it'll tie in the silver of the front. And I need to use up these stars. So we'll just do a few of these on here. And we'll do, I think we'll do one coming off the edge because I really enjoy the way that looks. Just stick it right there. And then I am going to do some more page freckles on this as well. It'd be cool if I had like tiny leaf stickers too. I could do like different sized leaves all along the page, but I kind of like how this looks already. It's very simple looking. I think it's fun. Okay, on this other side, I want to use my paw stickers. So these are a recent release and were freebies for one of my sales, but I want to use, I think, 3 of them and just line the page like this because it covers up the Hobonichi branding, which, don't get me wrong, I love Hobonichi, but it's just more fun to make it unique to me, I guess. But I'm thinking of doing this, or the other option is I only do like half of the paw, like I cut off the legs, more of the leg, and write like garden journal here. I think I like that better. I'm going to do that. I'm going to write garden journal first, and that way I know where to space these down. I'm going to get a Pentel Sign brush pen in black, and I'm just going to write garden and pet journal here. And then I'm going to line up the stickers here. And I think I want to do like the waving one in the middle and then have the other 2 on the outside. And I think that's really cute. Okay, I'm going to do the outside ones first so that way I can actually center the middle one in the proper center. And I am going to unstick the whole thing, but I am going to do this to kind of remove a little bit of the stickiness just because I don't want it to stick too badly to the other pages. And then I'm going to leave the edges. Do I want to leave the edges loose? Yeah, I'm going to leave the edges loose for the moment. And then when I come back to, like they're all stuck down, I will cut off the bottom of the legs. That sounds terrible. Oh well. Okay. Okay, dokie, last one. I ripped it. How did I manage that? I have never done that with a sticker before. Well, that's a first for me. I need to look into that. Maybe this was just this one sticker, because it didn't happen with any of the other ones. I've never had this happen before. Maybe I like ripped it at like the perfect angle or something. No worries. I can work with this, I hope. In the terms of pivoting, let's just try to pivot a little bit. I'm going to line this up as best I can with it being centered without it being connected to each other. I think that'll work right there. And then I'm going to line up the edge of this very carefully, probably with tweezers, honestly. Oh, I see what happened. When I pulled it off of my hand, it was like at the perfect seam of like the claw, the toe indent. So it like perfectly ripped right there. That's wild. Okay. I'm glad I unstickifyed it a little bit though, because it's easier to move around. Anyways, I think that looks fine. I mean, you can't really tell from far away that it was a ripped sticker, so it's fine. I'm going to cut the edges off the back here and then add maybe some page freckles. I don't know. I'm going to be very cautious on cutting this though, because I do use this back page. I am pretty satisfied with my opening page here. It's a bummer that thing ripped, but it's fine. I will work with it, and then I'm going to, do I want to add more page freckles on this side, or do I just want to leave it alone? I think I'm going to leave it alone for now, and then if I decide to come back later, I will fill in a bit more, but I think for now I'm happy with that. Okay, now we move on into the year at a glance, and I'm going to use this for precipitation tracking. I don't really have a good example in this current year's book because I didn't keep up with it, but essentially I dot every time it rains or snows in like our area. Yeah. So we're going to do something similar with this. I do have a different kind of vision for this though, because I do want to have the previous year's precipitation laid out next to the current year's, because it helps me kind of gauge what is happening. Like, are we getting more rain, less rain? Which months are getting more rain now? Like that kind of stuff. So I am going to cover up the bottom year, which is like the future year, with a little sticker dashboard thing I made on Canva again. It's just a little image that I created using like chickens, coffee or tea, wildflowers, lighting, and then dog paws. And I just want to cover up the bottom. And then I'm going to use this other section here for my key, which the key is basically just going to say rain, snow. And then I also think I'm going to include my frost dates, so that way I have a better understanding of when I need to get stuff planted in the ground or harvested based on the weather. So that I need a key sticker for. And I think I'm going to use, do I want to use the little one or the medium-sized one? I think I'm going to use the medium-sized one because I don't have too many things that I'm keeping track of in terms of my key. And actually, I'm going to cover up the important dates with some washi before I do that. And I'm just going to use the same kind of buffalo washi I think I used in another planner because it's sitting out and it matches the blue on this. It might be too thick. Maybe not. I can just move it down a little bit, I think. Maybe. Dang it. Oh no. I'll put a star there. We'll work with this. I'm gonna do a star and I think a cat circle. I'll do blue since we're keeping it with the blues. And that way you can't even tell. Yay. And then I'm just going to put key right here in the middle. Do I want to do it in the middle or do I want to do it offset down here? I think I like the offset better. And then I do have this sticker seal from the Coffee Monsters Co., which I thought about putting here, but now I feel like I don't really need it because I added this. So I'll save this for something else. I do want to do my key, so I'm going to do, I think, blue for rain, and then I think I'm going to do the light green for one of the frost dates, red for one of the frost dates, and then I think I'm going to do purple for snow, which we've been getting more snow, it seems, in Texas, which is odd, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm going to do 1 dot for rain, 1 for snow, 1 for, why did I separate it? Oh, I guess I'll do it on the side. Okay. And then I'll do green for one frost date and red for the other frost date. And I'm just going to take my fountain pen with Pilot Black to write out the key for this, because I don't want to, I thought about using a skinnier, like the Jetstream, but I think I want to do the fountain pen. So this is going to be rain, snow, final frost, and first frost. And I picked green for the final frost because once the final frost has happened, it means go time for the year, like plant everything in the ground. And then for first frost, I did red as like a stop. Once the first frost is down, I'm likely not planting anything else. So I think I'm happy with my year at a glance. I'm tempted to write like precipitation up here at the top, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. Do I want to write precipitation at the top? Because I like the this year and last year, because I am going to be doing both things with that. I think I'm just going to leave it alone. It's going to be fine. We're going to leave it like it is. And for purposes of, I would say for paper quality, it looks like it's doing just fine. Like you can't see my writing on the other side for the titling up here at the top, which is good. But I have a sticker here, so you can't really tell anything with that. But it's all good. I do need a piece of paper to slip in between this though, because I don't want to transfer anything yet, if I can help it. Okay, now we have the Calendex section, and I am going to use this like I've used it before as well with the temperature tracking. This is a bit different. I kind of want to change it up, I guess, because this is how I've done it before, where I do the high and the low, and then I have a color coding system of the whole year. Obviously, 2025, I ended up not using this book, so this isn't filled out all the way, but I do like the way it looks when it's filled out all the way. I did the key attached to my little clear piece of acetate here, and I think I'm just going to keep this, like transfer this key straight into this new book and not worry about it. But I think I want to title this out like I did with this, where it has the temperature tracking at the top, and I think I also want to border the page a little bit because it just adds a little pop of color. It makes it a bit more fun. So let me pick out a skinny washi, and I think I will just go ahead and letter out temperature tracking on this side. Okay, I picked out this blue one from the washi tape shop because I think it'll match the blue of this buffalo tape pretty okay. Not that it needs to matchy, but I do like when everything kind of cohesively comes together. And I'm just going to border the page for this and leave my key up here to the side. Okay, then I'm going to take my same Pentel sign brush pen in black and do the temperature tracking up here. And I think I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to take my tracker sticker, the medium-sized one, and I'm going to stick it here. And I'm going to put temperature underneath it in print. Oops, I already messed up. Temperature. Is that how you spell temperature? I don't even know. Is that how you spell temperature? Now I'm going to second guess myself. And if it's not right, then I'm going to feel really stupid. How did I write it last year? Yeah, that's how you spell it. It just looks weird, I guess. Maybe because I messed up the R. That's okay. Temperature. And then I'm going to leave this key right here. In case you're curious, my key is for Fahrenheit. So the hottest days, 96 degrees Fahrenheit or more, will be red. Then it goes kind of like a tannish color, orange, yellow, green, blue, or green, green, purple, purple, pink, blue, blue, and then silver or gray for like the coldest days. These two stickers down here are from, I think one is from Leela Journals, and I think this other one is from According to Allie. I'm not sure. And this piece of acetate I got out of a old Weeks packaging, and I've just saved it and reused it over and over and over again. Yeah, I'm sure you can find just acetate and cut it down to size if you need something like this though. But I like it because it's a clear window between both sides of the page. Anyways, that's all I'm going to do for temperature tracker slash Calendex perpetual calendar section. Then we have the monthlies, and I am going to go ahead and set up 1 month with you guys. I'm not going to set up December because I don't think I'm going to be using this at all this month. I'm planning to start all of my journals fresh in January when the new year begins. So I'm not going to set up December, and I don't really have another use for this type of page from this planner. I have done collections this year in a lot of my other books for the extra monthly pages, but I don't really see myself needing a collection page for my pet or garden journal at the moment. If I decide on something, I'll change it, but I'm just going to leave it blank and start with the actual beginning of 2026 in January. So for the monthly pages, I am going to use the monthly kits from my shop in the Fantastic Florals. These are newly released, and I'm very excited and proud of them. I'm just going to stick down January with you guys, and then I will do the rest of the months off camera. But I'm going to cover up the weekdays up here with the weekday headers first. And then I'm going to do the artwork box next to this over here. And then I'm going to do the monthly name underneath that. And then I don't think I have anything else I really want to set up monthly wise yet. I really want to use this planner for like as the year goes on and like show my progress with it. But I am going to stick down the big box sticker on the bottom here. And I'm planning to put like my top garden memory in this little sticker. So I'm just going to write in here with a gel pen and be like top garden memory. And then it'll be like my chihuahua got stuck in a dog trap, or my chicken ate 40 worms, or I don't know, something really random. I haven't really decided yet. But that's all I'm going to do for setup on the monthlies. I know it looks super plain, but I do plan on writing in a synopsis a day or like little random tidbits of like what happens in the garden here. And I also may go back in with like some washi and kind of fill in these extra days that aren't belonging to January, but belong to the previous months or future months around it. And then I also debated on doing I don't know, like the moon phases and like the more wintry like nature holidays, so like solstices, equinoxes on these pages too. But for now, I really just want to decorate them and move on because I don't really have 100% like vibes with this yet. But yeah, let's just keep going. Let's just keep going. After the monthly pages, we go into the weeklies, and here is where I want to set up my tabs. And I went back and forth. I flip-flopped on which color tabs I wanted to do because the cover of this is green. So I figured I could do really green tabs like my soft mint tabs or even like the new lemon lime ones I came out with. But ultimately I decided I wanted to do the pastel hearts because there's a lot of different colors on the cover that are really, I don't know, light. Like we have some pinks and yellows and whites and blues and greens. And ultimately, my garden space and like my pets are things that I really love. So I picked the heart ones because I think it's going to be a better fit. But I'm going to go ahead and do tabs with you guys. We're going to go all the way back to the last set of weeks in December and put the tabs on in the planner backwards. And that just is easier for me and how I like to work with this planner. But I'm going to do the notes one first and then go December up. And it's just easier for me. For placing the tabs, if you've never used my tabs before, or if you need a little bit of instruction in tabs like this in general, they are kiss cut like this in a tiny space. They have a tiny slice in the middle to make it easier to fold. And they have a delineating line that you can line up the edge of your page. So that way all your tabs stick out the same length. My tabs have the names in the same direction no matter which way you put down the tab. So if you move it around an accident and put it backwards, it's still going to line up the same with all the other tabs. It won't have notes in the backward direction or an icon in the backward direction or anything like that. So let's just put notes down here on the bottom. And I'm also going to leave all of the tabs facing out until I finish putting them down. That way I can maneuver them if I need to maneuver them. In terms of where I'm going to place the tabs, I want every time I flip the tab for it to land on the first. So I'm going to place it in that way. And then once I get them all down, I will flip back through, make sure they're landing on the right spot. And then I will also show you guys like folding them over. And hopefully we can just get through this pretty quick. And because the weeks planner does have the extra month of weeklies in here for December of the previous year, I am also going to tab this out, but I'm just going to do weekly, which is one of the name tabs on my sticker sheet here. And then I'm going to do the monthly and the yearly tab as well. So we have weekly, which is just going to be for the December weeklies. I'm not really going to use those, but I do just feel like I need to tab them out. And then for the monthlies, I'm going to go ahead and tab out starting with the December section, even though I'm not using this technically as a monthly page. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to do monthly for January because that's where I'm starting the monthlies. Because if I go back in and use this page as a collection, I want to make sure that it has, like, I can put a tab on it if I need to show what the collection is and make it easier to flip for myself. I am going to do one for the yearly pages though. It's just like the yearly temperature tracking, not the year at a glance, because the year at a glance is like the first page that I would flip through, and I am just going to overlap a little bit for this one, and I think it'll be fine. So with that, I feel like all my tabs line up pretty nicely. I'm pretty okay with that. I'm going to start flipping them over and making sure they're flipping to the page that I want. So starting with the yearly page here, then monthlies, which make sure not to fold in 2 pages on accident because I do that all the time and it is mildly frustrating. But for the weeklies, I'm just going to make sure that it's folding to the first of that month and then fold the tab. Okay, tabs are done. I am very satisfied with how little they are and that they match like the, I don't know, like they're light and jolly. I'm going to go ahead and rip the bookmarks out because they're kind of annoying me now. If you've never done this before, just know that there is a tiny piece of glue holding these ribbon bookmarks in. You can leave them in here and like tuck them in the back and tape them down and all that kind of stuff, but I personally just rip them out. It's very easy. And yeah, so you want to grab hold of both strings very tightly with either your thumb and pointer finger, or you can wrap it around a couple of fingers and pull, and then you essentially hold the other hand on here with the book, keeping the spine closed and holding tightly, but not so tight like you're bending the book, right? Like you're holding tighter with the strings, but you want to hold firm to the other hand. And then you're going to slowly pull with the hand that's holding the strings and wiggle the strings back and forth in the spine, and at some point you will hear some kind of like crunching noises, and then you'll hear like a snap and it'll release. But it does take a little bit of finagling, and sometimes they're really tough. This is like the toughest one I've had. Oh, there we go. But you can see here it's just glue on the edges of these ribbons to hold them in place inside the binding. And no, this does not hurt the binding at all. I have never had one of these fall apart from ripping the bookmarks out. If that happens to you, I don't know what to tell you. I've done this with every single, and I mean every single Hobonichi weeks I've ever gotten, and I've never had the book fall apart. So yeah, those are going to be trash because I don't use them for anything else. Let's keep going. I'm going to go ahead and start with the vision board now, and I should say vision board notes section of the pages, and I have quite a few of these full page stickers that I made again in Canva because I want to section out my notes pages based on a few things. So the first section here is just going to be like the overview notes page, and I don't use any of the useful abbreviations, so I'm going to cover it up with, again, another big sticker, dashboard type thing. I made this on Canva. It's got like a gardener here, vegetables, which is primarily what I grow, gardening tools, and sunflowers, which are one of my favorite things to grow every year. And I was really sad I didn't get to grow them this past year. I'm going to peel the top of the sticker off, which again, I have showed this I think in a few videos now about applying a full page sticker. You want to push down the like an inch, half inch of the backing of the sticker, so you only have a little bit of the sticker sticky. That way you can line it up on the page where you want it without sticking down the full sticker and causing lumps or even, you know, tearing the page, because that has happened to me before. And then we're going to take a pencil board, which I learned this trick from Siobhan over at Just Scribble. We're going to take the pencil board and line it up with the edge that you already stuck down, and then flip the sticker back on itself like this, pull the backing with one hand and push with the pencil board with the other hand. And it just helps keep the sticker flat, the page flat, and we're not getting any bubbles. And yeah, it works so nicely. And we have a full page sticker fully down and no crinkly edges, which is great. So I'm going to be doing that like 5 or 6 more times, just a heads up. But that is number 1, complete. For the other side here on the notes page, I think I just want to cover up the notes with a vinyl sticker, and then I want to use the heading stickers that I made in my shop, and I think I'm going to stick with the medium size again here. And I do have these on clear matte paper, but I'm just going to use the regular matte, or the white matte, I guess. because that's what I've already started using, and I don't like wasting sticker sheets. So we're going to stick that right there, and then do a little notes right there. That's so cute. And then I'm going to stick a star sticker down to keep my cohesiveness alive. And I'm also going to do one of these little cat button stickers again. And I'm just going to do a little orange circle one. I think that's so cute. I do use this as an index page for all of the notes that I put in the back, because in my garden journals, the notes pages are where everything is. So let's just get started. The first section here I want to use is for monthly planting and harvesting things. I'm going to make this a title page. So again, I'm just going to put a vinyl down, and I think this one from Coffee Monsters Co. is the one I want to use. It's either that one or my Just Ducking Around one, but I feel like when I go down to like sit and plan what I'm going to garden, there's a stump in our backyard that I sit on all the time, and this is essentially me with my cup of tea or coffee planning out my garden. It's kind of funny. Helen just knows exactly where my little butt sits in my garden. I guess that's why she made this vinyl. She made it for me. I'm just kidding. She does the best stuff. She's so cute. I'm just going to stick it right here in the middle, and then I'm going to write underneath it with a title page saying monthly in script. Monthly. And then in print, I'm going to do planting and harvesting. And we're going to add some stars, a star, again, to keep it cohesive. We'll do 2 stars. We'll do one down here and one up here. And we're going to do page freckles with this one instead of the little cat. And I think that looks great. I'm not really going to do anything else on this other page. It's just going to be blank. This is kind of just the header page for what the section is. And what the section is what the section is, yes, okay. Essentially going to be a 2-page spread per month. This is going to be exactly what it's going to look like here in a second. Here's my header page that I did last year. I had my key on it. I had stars. It's you see the progress is still the same. But it's going to be the month with the list of everything possible I could plant in that month, whether it be through indoor planting, outdoor direct seeding, or transplanting. So I'm going to list everything out like this, and then this other page over here is what I'm going to use to actually write down what I plant, either how many I plant of it, which variety it is, and then like yield or harvest quantity once I get there. So planting, harvesting. So it's blank because I did not do any of this for 2025, but I will show you guys each month, because I'm going to basically do all of this off camera because I need to be really close to the book to write all of the things I want to write down, and it's going to be a long time writing, and I feel like that's kind of not conducive to this video. So I'll show you what it looks like in the end, but writing wise, I don't think you need to see me write down every single month's worth of vegetables that I could possibly plant in my garden, being in zone 8A and everything. Yeah, like there's so many things I can grow here because of which zone I'm in, which I'm very grateful for, especially because I can pretty much plant year round. Although these last couple of years, the January, February months have been so cold we couldn't plant anything, and I don't think that's going to be any different. But essentially that is going to be what is in this section of the book. So I'm going to just count out the 12 months using some monthly stickers instead of handwriting them this time. So I'm going to just plop down like January and then so on and so forth. These are the bold monthly prints on my shop and the clear mat, and I'm just going to do, I think right here, like not all the way at the top because I do want to put some washi probably up there, but I'm going to just go page by page and line this out, and then I will go back in and write in all of my vegetables and stuff off camera. after all of those are placed, we're going to move on into the next section. And this is a new addition to my garden journal. I really wanted to give this a shot because I feel like I want to keep better tabs or better track of my animals, especially because they're not really with us our whole lives, right? Like they're only with us for a short period of time. And I would love to have some kind of documentation of, I don't know, their lives. So that is what I printed out on all of these other like large stickers. So I took photos of all of my pets that either I had or that I took recently, and I blew them up into Canva again and sized them to fit within the Hobonichi weeks, and then just printed them on sticker paper. So these are all of my animals. I have 4 dogs and 4 cats, and we're going to be essentially making little profile pages for every single one of them. Yeah, so let's just start with the header page first, and then I will talk a bit about each one of my fur children. But for the header pages for the dogs, I want to use, I guess dogs and cats, I want to use these cute little stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. again. So there's one with a little book and dogs and one with books and cats. So I'm going to use the dogs one for my dog section. And then I'm going to do the cats one for my cat section. And I do want to title this other page as well. But we're going to start with this sticker as soon as I can get the backing off. And I think I'm going to do it where the modi is more flat, so the book is going to be slightly tilted. We're going to do that. I'm going to do large over here with my Tombow, actually. I'm not going to use my pen tool because I want this to be larger. I'm going to do animal and then profiles. I'll just do animal profile because that fit better. And then underneath it, I'm going to do pages. It's so cute. I am going to go back through, I think, and embolden the title a little bit, kind of like I did with a previous book where I made it look a little bit more 3D by just adding a few I don't even know what to call these, like stripes, dots, dashes. It just adds a little bit more intrigue to the letter, but not, I'm hoping I'm not overdoing it. We'll see how I feel here in a second, but I think I'm happy with that. And then on the other side here, I'm just going to do dogs, and I will use my Pentel for this one. I'm just going to say dogs. And we will add some stars, or a star, I guess. And then some page freckles on this side. And then we will do all of my dog photos. And if you don't have fur children, or you want to do something similar to this, you could easily use your own kids. Kids, fish, hobbies even. Like take a photo of your hobby, make like a profile page of your hobby. I don't know, that might be kind of fun. But I really just wanted to do ones for my animals since I always write about them. Now they have a designated, like, glorified space. Anyways, this first dog is Apollo. He's my oldest. He's going to be 9 years old in April next year. He is an Australian Shepherd Heeler mix. And he is just the most well-behaved grandpa of the group. He is so cute and funny and has the biggest personality. But yeah, I want to make like a little profile page on him. So I can write down like his favorite toys or maybe like something funny he did for the year. And just make it overall entertaining about animals. But I'm going to apply the same sticker the same way. that I did all the other ones. Ooh, that one crinkled a little bit. Yeah, I think that's fine. I can live with that. It did crinkle a bit more on that one though. That's okay. I'm gonna write down his name on this side with my Tombow so it's larger. Do I want to use my Tombow? No, I think I'll use the pentel. I'm just gonna do Apollo. And then I will go back through and write down like his age, his birthday, favorite food, favorite toy, and then I think I'm going to leave the rest of the page blank for like any other fun things that happened with Apollo for the year. Like just for memory purposes. I don't know. He's so cute. Look at my little child. He's so adorable. Okay, then we're going to do the next doggy. My next baby. This is Athena. She's my second dog. We got her as a puppy. She is a German short hair pointer, full breed. She is just the mom of the group. She is so sweet to all of the animals, chickens, dogs, cats, humans. She's just the most benevolent dog. She's so sweet. She is going to be 4 in January. She's definitely growing up so fast. Because, yeah, I remember getting her as a tiny baby. And she was just the smallest, cutest little dog. And I just, yeah. She was like my first puppy I ever really got. And I did the same thing on that one. Oh well. They're just going to be kind of crinkly until I get the hang of it again from doing full page stickers. It's fine. I can live with it. Anyways, this is Athena. And I'll go back through and write down the rest of their things later. I just want to kind of get through all of these for the time being, just so the video isn't like super duper long. Next we have Aria. She is a German Shepherd Blue Heeler mix. Her coloring is so pretty, and every time we take her to the park, she always gets the most compliments because I guess she's like our prettiest dog. I don't know, but she's so funny. And she also has a very big personality like Apollo does. There's something about the Aussies and like the healers that they just have personality. But she is a licker. She likes to lick everybody, and we've been trying to break her of her licks. But some dogs, you know, they're just lickers. They just like to lick. And yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but we just wash our hands a lot. All right, I'm going to try to concentrate on this one and not talk through it, and maybe I will succeed in getting the sticker down without it being lumpy this time. And look at that. I just need to not talk through it while I'm doing it. Maybe that's my reason for success, is just being quieter. Anyways, this is Aria. And she is going to be 2 next year. She's one of our babies. And this is my other baby and newest addition. And this is Hermes, like the designer handbags. Here's my Chihuahua. I never wanted small dogs. I had a small dog with my mom and dad and family growing up, and she was great, but I was always a fan of bigger dogs. And I don't know what it is, but when my husband and I went to Mexico to visit his family, we got to meet their Chihuahua, and I fell in love with their dog. Their dog's name was Piña, like pineapple. And I was just like, I need a Chihuahua in my life. Like I was like, if there's a Chihuahua at the shelter when we get back home, can we get it? And of course my husband was like, yes, because he's an animal lover just like me. And lo and behold, they had the cutest little brown Chihuahua at the shelter when we got home. And this is 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗻. And he also has very big personality. Okay, that is it for my dogs. I do want to do my cats as well with you guys. And so I'm going to do another header page here with the cat TCMC vinyl. And I'm just going to put cats underneath it like I did for the dog one. Okay, and this one is going to say, I think I did cats underneath the other one, or dogs. Okay, yeah. So we'll do cats, and naturally I stuck cat hair down onto the page. What are the odds? Okay, cats. And I do want to add a star sticker here as well, so that way it matches the other page. I'm going to do it up on here this time. And then for my cats, I also have 4 of those. So they are pretty much outdoors most of the time, except in the winter where they come in and like stay warm. But here is all of my cats. I have, like I said, 4. This is my oldest boy. He is Hades. He's practically a panther. He's massive. He is also a killer. He's the best mouser I think we have out of everybody. He is really great at catching all of like the mice that get into the chicken feed, and he's just a little workhorse, and he is so cute. And I don't know, his eyes, like you see how his eyes are like really green in this photo. They're naturally like just glowing all the time. When you see him, if you're walking around at night, you just know it's him because his eyes are super, super bright. Yeah, he's my chunky child. He's so fat because he eats so many mice. I kind of messed up the bottom of this one, but that's okay. We're doing better. I mean, it's like hit or miss now, I guess, in terms of my full page stickers. Also, if you haven't noticed, all of our animals are named after like Greek people or gods or goddesses. So we have Apollo, Athena, Arya, which is probably like the only exception. I think there is a goddess named Arya, but I don't remember what she stands for. Hermes or Hermes, and then Hades, and then you'll see the rest of them here in a minute. For the cats, I don't know if I want to do the same profile questions that I did for the dogs, where it was like the I do want to do age and birthday, and then I do want to do favorite food. But for favorite toy, I don't know if I want to apply that for the cats or if I want to say like favorite activity, because the cats, I don't know, they don't necessarily play with toys. They do, but they don't, you know? So like favorite activity for Hades is probably going to be like hunting. I don't know. That's just my 2 cents right off the bat. But let's keep going. My next cat is my black cat. Her name is Nox. She is the goddess of the night. Nyx is technically the correct pronunciation, but we call her Nox because she responds to it better. And she is just the tiniest, daintiest little lady. But yeah, we call her the daintiest little lady because she has these really tiny, tiny feet, and all of her toe beans, like all of her little paws, are black. Like she's like solid black all the way through. She has a black tongue too, and her nose is black, and like her paws are black. She has like one toe bean in like her back foot that's pink, and everything else on her is completely black. So she's definitely our night kitten. And then this is a new addition. This is Helios, and he is 3 times the size of this photo now. He would not sit still for a photo, so I just picked this one. He is massive. He's becoming my biggest boy. He's not even a year old yet, and he's the size of Hades. and I'm thinking he's got like bobcat blood in him or something. He's so big, and he is the best lizard hunter. I caught him eating a lizard, no joke, like the size of my hand. It was huge, and oh man, he's quite the character as well. He's adorable. Oh no, that stuck down. Okay. See, this is why you only peel back part of the sticker, because if you didn't line it up right, you only damage part of the paper. And maybe not even damage it. I think that did okay. But yeah, Helios is a chunky monkey, and he was one of 2 kittens we got at the same time. We didn't need any more cats, but my husband was like, can we get them? And then it was just like, okay, I can't say no, because they're so cute, and it's not like we don't have space for them, and they'll have a really great time, like, hunting on the property and being cats and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, that is Helios. And then this is his twin sister, Eos. So they're pretty much the same cat. They look almost identical. Helios is much, much larger, and Eos is the female. But they look pretty much identical everywhere else. His stripes are a little bit stronger than hers, though, in terms of like markings, and she also has a little bit of orange in her, which makes her look a little bit more calico-y. She's so cute. But I think I've shown this photo before too. I got a fountain pen from 𝗦𝘂𝗽𝗍, and it's called Eos, and it just reminds me of my kitten now. She's so cute. But Eos is the snuggle bug. She just wants to cuddle and stay inside and be a little princess. And yeah, this is her on her brother's chair that is in our office. And she just likes to sit there and cuddle like all day long. It's so cute. She's definitely the cuddly one. And if you're wondering why we named her Eos, there is, it's like a duo. It's like Helios and Eos are brother and sister. And so we figured it was appropriate that since the kittens were brothers and sisters, that we named them kind of the same. And it just fits for her. And she responds very well to it. So yeah, that is it for pet profiles. Hooray. The next section here is just going to be notes, because I don't really have a use for any of the other pages in the back for notes pages. Mine is in the back where I want to put a tracker. So I'm just going to separate this out with a piece of vellum this time, just so that way it clearly is like a break from like structured notes pages to more free notes pages. So this is the garden variety vellum from my shop, in the week size. It is sized to fit the sterling ink weeks, so it's a little bit bigger. I am going to trim, I think, the edge off before I stick it down. Do I want to do it before I stick it down or after I stick it down? I think I'm going to do it before I stick it down. I'm just going to take off, I don't know, an edge or so, like that much. I don't even know how much that is. Maybe like 3 millimeters worth, and see how it fits after that. And yes, I'm just cutting these with scissors because I'm too lazy to get up and go to my cutter paper, but if it's really that crooked, I will go cut it with a cutter paper, but I think that would work just fine. I'm also going to hand round the corners because I have no idea what happened to my corner rounder. So if you need to round your corners, you can just take your scissors and manually round it. It's not hard. It just takes a little bit of patience. And then you have some rounded corners. I mean, they're not perfect, but I can live with that. Okay, I'm going to take the same kind of buffalo washi tape that I did from earlier and stick it down in here. I'm going to do it on the back side of the vellum though. And in case you're curious, I always do these taping off of the book like so. And then I'm going to cut the excess tape off of the vellum edges, so that way it's like flush with the vellum. And I think I showed this in my health setup, but I'm going to take a pencil board and kind of line it up with the edge of the sticky. So I'm going to try to position the vellum where I want it on the edge of the page. And that where the tape falls in the middle of the crease. And then I'm going to take the pencil board here and like wedge it down into the crease really good. So that way it's like in the crease. And I don't think I lined that up quite properly. No, I did not. So I'm going to reposition it. And since it's already kind of creased, I can probably do this a little bit easier. Maybe not. I'm going to just stop talking and do this myself and then explain it afterwards. Okay, that's much better. Okay, and now the vellum is down. Yay! And then this is just going to be more notes section, and I'm just going to put a vinyl back here saying just ducking around, which this one's from my shop. It's part of an animal series I did. And I'm going to do another notes sticker underneath it. And of course, a star to keep our theme continuing. And then I will do some freckles for this one too. Okay, now I'm pretty much done. I think I just want to do the tracker pages maybe. I thought about tracking the same things that I've been tracking in my other books, where it's like when I'm flea treating my animals, when I'm doing chicken wormer, when I'm doing claw management, bathing, all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to set that up here. I'm not 100% set on it though, so I think I'm going to think about it a little bit more, but if I do it, I'm probably going to do it off camera, but it's going to look very similar to how I've done my adulting log. So if you missed my journey planner setup, this is essentially what I'm doing in here. Is with the blank page, I made an adulting log, and it has things on the bottom here like bathing the animals, flea treating, mowing the lawn, stuff like that. And I think I want to add something like this to my garden journal, but I just don't know what exactly I want to plan there yet. So I think I'm just going to leave it blank for now. And then if I decide to do anything, I'll come back and show you guys what I do there. For the extra pages back here, for the favorites page, I want to use this as a place to mark down any kind of crises we have throughout the year. I'm not going to fill this out with anything because I'm hoping it's going to be blank and not be needed. But I feel like every year we at least have like one crisis, and I'd like to write down like the date and what happened. So that's what I'm going to use this section for. And then for the My 100 page, I'm going to do this as varieties planted. So when I garden, I'm going to essentially do the same thing that I tried to do last year and write down all of the different varieties. So I'm not going to decorate the page this time, just because I didn't end up using it, and I'm nervous that I won't use it again. So I don't want to like use up something that I really like in terms of supplies. But this is essentially what it would look like, and then it'll be filled out with like the different varieties of plants that I would grow. And then the other section in here is new this year, is memories for 2026. I'm not really set on this one either because I don't really need it, but I thought about using each box for like a different season. So like winter, spring, summer, fall, whichever order I decide to go in, and maybe doing like a description of the garden during those seasons and like what's going on in the garden. I mean, for me, it's kind of like obvious that in the spring it would be planting stuff. Summer would be everything is in full bloom and growing. Fall would be like I've harvested everything. In the winter, everything's dead. So I don't really know exactly what I want to do permanently for this section, but that is the idea that I had for it for the time being. And then I don't think there's another section in here. Oh, there is. Okay, so then there's the 365-day checkoff sheet. And I do want to use this for logging when I play with the dogs. So I want to get in the habit of going outside with them every single day, or if I can't go outside, do inside things or go to the park. I just want to mark down like all the days that I play with them, which is usually most of the time, but I think it would be fun to see like a full sheet of checks, like boxes filled out, because I played with them every single day. I don't know. It's just something I thought of that might be a fun way to use the space, because it's already in the book. I might as well try to use it. I think that's all I want to do for setup wise. The last little bit in here, I'm just going to decorate. So I'm going to take that washi from the washi tape shop, the dog one, and just decorate the back here. And then I do want to put a big old duck vinyl on the back page here as well. And I think I need to trim this vellum down a little bit more. Hold on. I do want to put a duck vinyl on the back because the back is kind of boring on this week's. It just has the little thimble back here, or the thread, and I think it's cute, but I really want to put a big duck sticker back here. I don't know why. It's just, it's like, yeah, that's me. This is our duck Drake, and then we have a rooster and chicks and eggs. Our rooster is no more, and we don't have chicks, but it's the concept. It's the concept that counts. So yeah, I'm going to stick this on the back, and then I'll show you guys the clear cover, and then I think I'm going to stop filming after that and work on something else for a little while, and then I will fill out the rest of the pages and come back at a later date or later time and show you guys the final product, but I just want to put a big duck sticker on the back. Okay, so the clear cover that I chose is from Angel Shop, and I really wanted to use this one because it has the button closure. I don't remember which colorway this is, but I did order this, and it did take a little while to get to me, which sucked, but it's okay. But I've been keeping this planner in the cover to try to stretch it out a little bit because the cover is a bit snug. So I've also debated on just doing only one side of the cover in the book, or one side of the book in the cover that came out backwards, and then leaving the other side out. But I think ultimately I have stretched it well enough that it should fit a little bit easier. I believe her clear covers are designed for her own week's planners that she creates, but I really wanted to test it out on a Hobonichi week's because it's so cute, and I really want the snap closure like I mentioned. So let's see. Yeah. Me stretching out did work a bit. Worked pretty well. And now I don't have to worry about the feel of this week's on my hands. I'm fine with the clear cover, and I don't have to worry about fingerprints either, which is really great. So this is the clear cover that I'm planning on using. I'm going to take it off though because I'm going to do the back part here in a little bit. But yeah, that's all for now. I'll be back later with a full flip through of the final product. Yeah, I guess I will see you guys then. I am back, and I have finished the somewhat setup of this. There are a couple of things I decided to wait on, and I will talk about that when I go through. But let's go ahead and do the final flip through of the completed version. The cover I put on this, the Angel Shop's clear cover, is growing on me tremendously. I love the subtle iridescent sparkles on this, and I'm excited to, I guess, move it from planner to planner maybe. I don't know, but I'm just really glad it fit this week's because the shiny cover on this week's was not doing it for me. Which, if I didn't mention, this is the Hobonichi Week's A Story About Me, which is the 𝗂𝗚𝗎𝗄𝗎 artist, and I really just loved her entire line of stuff from Hobonichi this year, so I picked up a lot of it. Anyways, the inner cover here I just decorated with the dog washi tapes from the washi tape shop. I love the way this turned out. I think it's so cute and fun and playful and perfect for the intentions I have for this book, which is going to be, again, garden and pet things. I went ahead and slid in my extra blank tabs that I have used in the planner on the side here, because if I add more things in the back, I want to be able to tab it as I go. But there's that. The inner cover here, or I should say flyleaf page, is more stickers and ultimately just like titling out the planner. I used these leaf stickers from Sticky Club, and they're not sticking surprisingly well. So I may have to go back in at some point and like glue them down or something. I don't know. It's only like the edges that are lifting. I'm going to leave it for now and see if maybe they'll adhere over time, because it is very cold in my room right now. So maybe things just aren't sticking super well, but it's okay. And then on the other side here, I did some of the paw vinyls from my shop, and I titled out my book Garden and Pet Journal with just a script marker. For the year-at-a-glance pages, I'm going to use this for precipitation tracking, precipitation logging. I added in my little dashboard sticker, a key, my little dots using these Zig Clean Color dot markers, and then I went ahead and started filling out the current year's precipitation, just because I do want to have both last year's and the current year present so I can compare months. I need to go back through and fill out the rest of August and September, October and November though, because I don't have those up to date in my current book, so need to fill that out. Then for the perpetual calendar / Calendex, I'm going to use this as a temperature tracker again. I just reused the key that I had in my 2025 book that I taped to a piece of acetate, and decided to clip it down using a magnet bookmark from the Coffee Monsters Co. I may redo the key at some point, just because it's so big. But for now, I'm really okay with the way it's working. I mean, it's going to serve its purpose, but I'm going to track the high and low temperature every day and then color code it based on the temperature key on the side here. Then we move into the monthlies, and I have no real use for the first monthly, December 2025. I know the Hobonichi weeks technically has all of the days of the week. So like you could use this planner starting in December. I decided to wait until January, so I did not fill this out. And I also didn't really have any like collection ideas to put on the extra monthlies for this planner, which is something I'm doing in my other books. But for now, I'm leaving this blank. I may go back in and add something later, but I don't really see anything necessary that needs to go here. But for the actual monthly pages, I just set up January. And originally I was going to go back in and fill out the rest of the monthlies using the monthly kits from my shop, and decided I'm just going to do 1 month at a time, because I don't want to bulk up like all the sticker spots. So naturally, by covering up all the dates with stickers, this up here is going to get a little bit bulky. I don't mind the bulk. It's just when you're writing, it makes it a little bit difficult. So I think doing 1 month at a time is going to be a bit more comfortable for me writing wise versus doing all of the months all at once. So I'm going to plan to leave these sticker sheets in the back of this book, and I'll show you that once we get to the back. But I'm really excited to kind of keep track of little blurps or small things that happen garden wise, pet wise, and really just anything to do with my pet life, garden life, just small snapshots. And then I do have some reminders here. So like I put my dog Athena's birthday down here, so I remember to make sure she gets a treat on that day. And then I'm going to go ahead and list out some main to-dos that I want to do in January, which are primarily going to be doing starting seeds, because I finally will have a chance hopefully to grow a garden again in 2026. And then for the big sticker down here, I plan on doing like one big thing that happens either with my pets or with my garden, and just kind of highlighting it in a bigger spot down here. Then after the monthlies, we have the weeklies. And again, you can start this book technically in December. I'm going to wait till January, but I tabbed out all of the weeklies using the pastel heart tabs from my shop. And I really like how they turned out. They're kind of subtle, and they match the kind of iridescent-y, like, I don't know, cutesy cover, like clear cover of this. I don't know. I feel like it matches pretty well, surprisingly. But after the weekly pages, we move into the notes pages, where the bulk of what I did in this planner is in terms of setup. So I covered up this abbreviations page with another dashboard, just with some pictures that I pulled on Canva. And then I went ahead and wrote down my index over here and added some decoration at the top with a Coffee Monsters Co. sticker, a notes script sticker from my shop, and then stars and cats, because I've been keeping that consistent in this book. But my indexing here, I use the page numbers and just wrote out like what sections are already kind of planned out in the back here. And with that, the first section is going to be my monthly planting and harvesting section. So I went ahead and added in a little key so I can remember what is what when we go through the months. And I just added in all of the different options I could possibly plant for each month. I'd like to do this in my books because usually when I'm going to plan my garden, I like to see what all of my options are, especially like if I have like a shortage of tomato seeds, then I'll grow something else. Or if I don't have enough of like pumpkins or watermelons or something like that that I really want to grow, then I know to pick up seeds like that too. So it gives me a full list of all the possibilities, not a full list of what I'm actually going to grow. What I'm actually going to grow, I'm going to write here on this side of the page or even on this other blank page. And then after I plant it, I'm going to write down the number that I planted, the variety that I planted, maybe location. And then at the end of its growing cycle, when I harvest it, I'm going to write the yield and all that kind of stuff down here too. This has worked for me in the past, and I'm hoping it's going to work for me again. But I went ahead and just did all of the months ahead of time of like, what are all the possibilities? And I just added a little bit of washi tape and used my bold monthly headers for each month to kind of decorate the page a little bit to make it a little less threatening. I'm hoping as the months go on, I'll fill out what I do in each one. Majority of my growing season is year round. I don't really have a section of the year where I could not grow something, but I will say I do only try to grow things in the spring and the fall just because it's easier for me maintenance wise. With that being said, I likely won't have things for every single month on these pages, but I like to have this as more of a reference point as well. But that is the planting and harvesting log notes section. After that, I decided to add in something completely new this year to my garden journal, and I'm really excited about this because I had a lot of fun setting it up. These are my animal profiles. So I have 4 dogs and 4 cats, and I decided to dedicate one page per animal and a kind of like little profile page, and I want to write down little things that they do throughout the year, or maybe some goofy things, or if something bad happens, like really anything about each animal on their dedicated space. But I also wanted to write down some like really silly bits because it's a profile page, like, I don't know. So this is Apollo. He's 8 years old, and I wrote down his favorite food, which is anything. He's practically a garbage disposal, and his favorite toys are the flying frisbee squirrels or rocks. He really just likes to play with rocks. We took him to a dinosaur park once and he literally was fishing for rocks. It was hilarious. This is Athena. She's 4. Her favorite food is pork or chicken, and her favorite toy is the cat laser. She goes absolutely bonkers for it. And I'm really hoping that I can write down some of her really funny things down here. She went into her first heat this current year in 2025, so I want to document when she goes into her heat next, and kind of have a log of those as well, just for my own records. Then we have Aria. She is a German Shepherd heeler mix. She's 1, and her favorite foods are ham slices or cheese, and she loves to play with footballs and soccer balls. Really just any kind of thing you can kick around. She likes to just chase things. Then we have Hermes, my Chihuahua. He's 2. His favorite food is chips, or anything that falls on the ground. He's like a tiny vacuum. He's hilarious. And his favorite toys are tennis balls, especially the fluff that he peels off of them, or any kind of plushy toy that he can disembowel and leave all the fluff everywhere on the floor. But yeah, those are all of my dogs, and I'm excited to kind of, again, write down little things that happen to them throughout the year or happen with them. And then we have a section for my cats. So this is Hades. He's my oldest. He's 2 years old. I'm going to be 3 next year. And he, instead of doing like their favorite foods and favorite toys, for the cats, I did their favorite place to hang out and their favorite activity. So his favorite place to hang out is our roof, or in a tree. And his favorite activities are hunting mice and meowing at us at 2 a.m. in the morning. He's very loud. Then we have Knox. She is 3. Her favorite place to hang out is either under our house or in her cat tower, and she loves hunting bugs as her favorite activity. And then I have Helios, one of our newest additions. His favorite place to be is in trees or in between our feet. He's notorious for tripping us because he just is constantly weaving between our legs. And his favorite activities are hunting lizards and eating. This boy's going to be huge. He's oh my gosh, he's like the size of a bobcat already. Yeah, he's just a big boy. And then we have Eos, the brother of Helios. So these two are practically like twins, but she is also 1 year old. We got them at the same time, and her favorite place to hang out is either in a cozy bed or in really tall trees. She gets super high up there, I swear. I'm scared of her. And her favorite things to do are cuddle, sleep, or just run around like a crazed maniac, because she just sprints everywhere. But yeah, those are all the animal profile pages. I'm really excited about these, and kind of, I don't know, intrigued to see if I want to do like updated photos every year. If I really like this, I want to continue it in like future journals, and I don't know, it's just kind of a fun experiment to start for 2026. Then after the profile pages, I just have the rest of these pages dedicated to notes. I separated it out with a piece of vellum and just did another little header page here with a vinyl from my shop. And then these blank pages back here are all going to be dedicated to just random notes throughout the year. Whether it be we need to fix something, I need to do some math for chicken, report about chickens, anything to do with garden notes, just any generic notes. I thought about doing a pet tracker in the back of this section as well, but I think I'm going to wait on this because I do have a lot of that in my main book. And if I really like the way it's working out in my main book, I don't think I want to have it in another spot. But I do think I want to have all of like the pet stuff in one place. So I may add this later. So I'm leaving the sticky note here just as a reminder in case I want to put it back in here. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it like it is. Then we go into the like pre-printed pages in the back of the Hobonichi Weeks. I did not title any of these out just because I don't know if I'm actually 100% going to use them, but these are the ideas that I have for these pages. So for the favorites pages, I want to use these as like crisis pages or crisis sections. So like if we have a crisis, I want to write the date and like what happened. For instance, like a chicken death, our dog gets caught in a trap, somebody, gets injured, dogs get out and our neighbors find them, like, things like that, a crisis, quote unquote. I do want to write those down. And then for my 100 pages, I want to do these as like a varieties of plants planted. So I'll write down like what variety it is, or maybe like the group. So like tomato, Cherokee purple, or pumpkin, sugar, like, the different kind of varieties. I would just want to write them down so I keep a list of all of the ones that I really liked, and maybe I'll cross the ones out that I don't like in the end. Then there is this new section called Memories 2026. Since this is 4 sections, I thought about doing like different seasons, so like spring, summer, fall, winter, and just writing out a little bit about the garden in each section. Not 100% set on it, but it's an option I was thinking about using these pages for. I also thought about taking just like a photo of my garden space and putting it in each one of these sections, but again, I'm not 100% set on any of those things. I think the last thing in here is the 365 checkoff, and I want to do this as a checkoff of every day that I play with my dogs. So I will come in here and fill out the circle or square or diamond or whatever shape every day that I do play with the dogs. And I think it'll be really fun, kind of visual representation of how much time I get to spend with them. Just because their lives are a bit shorter, like they're not around with us for like 40 years or anything. So I'm excited to see, I guess, how many days of the year I spend with my fur children. The last pages in here are just decoration. I went ahead and added some more vinyls to this page. I don't think I showed that on camera with you guys. And then I decorated the back here off camera as well. I know I did that. So, but it matches the front, which is the intention. Yeah. And then at the back here, I just added one more vinyl sticker, which is a duck quack quack emoji vinyl from Helen over at the Coffee Monsters Co. And I really love how this looks. But let me go ahead and slip in the extra weekly or weeks kits, and I'm just going to leave them loose in the back like this because I can just snap this closed, and the friction, I guess, of keeping it closed is holding all of them in there. So I'm just going to leave them in the back of the planner for now and then use them as the months go on. If it becomes too bulky or I don't like it, I'll just put them in another binder and get them out when I actually need them. But yeah, that is it for my garden planner / pet journal / everything to do with the outdoors over here at the Dandelion Diaries residence. I'm excited for this book. I'm excited to have the chance to garden again in 2026 since I won't be planning a wedding. So I'm excited. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the supplies I used today or any questions about the book in general. I'd love to chat down in the comments about garden journals or pet journals, like what you guys like to put in yours. I feel like it's such a fun niche book to keep. And I'm always interested in getting, some more ideas or more inspiration for my own. So feel free to chat with me down about that in the comments. But yeah, for now, I'm going to leave it off here. I hope you guys are doing well. Be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.